All right, what is going on, everybody? Tanner Pfeiffer here with Pfeiffer Football. Good morning. I got a little bit of channel art going on, so let me know what you guys think of that. See if it improves the quality of the stream. Let me get everything situated. See if I can get the chat box up here. All right, I think it's looking good. Let me just give it a minute, get people time to join. All right, let's see. Let me make sure I'm live on Twitch as well. We have a lot to talk about this morning, especially since the combine is going on. That's pretty exciting. I think today is the tight ends, receivers, maybe the running backs as well. But we'll have to, I'll have to double check on that, but I do think it is some of those positions. Let me share this link real quick to Twitter. Here's a live stream link. We'll send this to NFL Rumors. All right, so there is something I want to talk about with the New York Giants. Some news that came out earlier this morning, and wide receiver Sterling Shepard. Looks like the Giants have approached him about taking a pay cut, and he is actually debating whether he should do this or not. The thing is if he doesn't take a pay cut, then he is at the risk of being released. Let's see. I think it would save them like $5 million in cap space. He is coming off of an injury. He tore his Achilles in December. So they asked receiver Sterling Shepard to take a significant pay cut in order to return on a shortened one-year contract next season. And that was according to Ryan Dunleavy on Twitter. He is 29 years old. Like I said, he tore his Achilles in December. He is still, right now, currently the longest tenured player on the New York Giants, and I believe that's not very long. I don't know when Sterling Shepard was drafted. Was it 16 or 17? But considering that's, I mean, let's see. Yeah, the 2016 draft. So 5 seasons is the longest active player on the Giants right now, like the longest tenure on the Giants. That's kind of ridiculous, I think. That I don't know, but he's at risk of being released, so I want you guys to drop your thoughts down below. I do think that he would be a great target on another team, but like I said, he is 29 years old. He just turned 29 in February, so he is kind of like at the peak of his career, like the prime. Once you get past like age 30, 31, 32, receivers just kind of start falling off downhill. You know, there are some exceptions like, you know, Antonio Brown, a few others that continue to play well. Of course, Larry Fitzgerald is one of those as well, even though he sat out this last season. But I do believe that Sterling Shepard could be a valuable wide receiver too on another team. I feel like he's never lived up to his true potential on the Giants. I think he's had a lot more to offer, but like I said, he's on the Giants, so no big surprise that he never really lived up to his expectations or to what he could actually do. But anyways, guys, tell me your thoughts on that situation down below. Thanks for watching this video. All right, so I just made a little clip there for my YouTube channel as well. Threw up an animation there. So hopefully you guys like that, and maybe it was some good quality. Trying to mix it up, make the live streams a little better. Make sure you guys are leaving a like on this live stream. Yeah, but the fact that he's 29 years old, drafted in 2016, he's the longest tenured player on the New York Giants. That's really sad. That just shows how much of a rebuild the Giants have actually gone through, and just how good, like how really, really bad they are. They're just not very good at all. Who's the next longest tenured player? Would it be Saquon? He's been there, what, 4 years? Has he played out his 5th year option? I don't know. Maybe then Daniel Jones after that. I mean, that's just really sad. The Giants are just, right now, are just kind of a poverty franchise. They did hire a new head coach, Brian Daboll. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I do think that was a really good move on their part. I just don't know how well it's going to just like flip the team. I still think it's going to take several years for them to build something. We do have more Giants news, and I want to talk about that. Let's make sure this chat gets going, though. Yeah, I've got the chat pulled up as well. Here we go. We had some more Giants news. You guys might like this one. So yesterday, the New York Giants released 2 players, one of them being tight end Kyle Rudolph. He's a veteran running back, and veteran tight end, and then a veteran running back, Devontae Booker. He was released as well. Releasing Kyle Rudolph saves the Giants $5 million in cap space, but Kyle Rudolph did leave a tweet after this saying that he still believes he can play, and he's going to search for the best opportunity to play somewhere as a tight end 1. So that's good for him. I just don't know. I think he's 33, maybe 33 years old. So he's still got potential, and he did basically nothing for the Giants last season. I think he had 1 receiving touchdown in 2021. I don't know why the Giants signed Rudolph. I didn't think it was a good signing when he went there, and it just proved out to be that way. As far as Devontae Booker, he was released. He did average 4.1 yards per carry last season for the Giants, but heading into the 2022 season, he failed a physical, and he was released on a failed physical designation. He had an injury, maybe a shoulder injury or something, I think in December at the end of the season, but he did pretty well for the Giants. I do think he's going to be, he kind of helped his free agency stock a little bit. But I want you guys to tell me your thoughts on Booker. I think he was drafted by the Broncos several years ago and never really did anything there. But I do think he could be a valuable running back too on another team. The Giants have made a lot of moves in the last few days, especially a lot yesterday, just trying to save some money and cap, and they're just trying to do something and rebuild there with the Giants, clear some cap space, go after some valuable free agents. They never did end up trading Evan Ingram, so this was part of their move to release tight end Kyle Rudolph. I do think that if you're going to stick with Ingram, why do you have Kyle Rudolph? So that's why they went ahead and released him, giving Rudolph the chance to play elsewhere. And considering he put up almost basically no stats with the Giants, why waste the rest of his career there with the Giants? They're giving him opportunity elsewhere. Evan Ingram has had a case of the dropsies his entire career. I do think that they should have traded him. But obviously they do want to keep some weapons for Daniel Jones. But I think Evan Ingram could really shine in a different system. They still will have Kenny Golladay. They signed him to a horrendous contract, and he basically did nothing for the Giants last year as well. I think Golden Tate was there. So there's just I think it was Golden Tate as well. There's just a lot the Giants have been working on, and I think Brian Daboll is just trying to figure out and get the right weapons around Evan Ingram or around Daniel Jones. And there was also news that they may not be picking up his 5th-year option anyways. So I want you guys to tell me your thoughts on that situation down below. As far as news this morning, I don't know what else has been reported this morning. Yesterday, there was a report by Josina Anderson that Andy Isabella was given permission to seek a trade out of Arizona. I do like this move because I think that Andy Isabella is a very, very talented wide receiver, but they drafted Rondale Moore. They signed AJ Green last year. They traded for D-Hop. They also have Christian Kirk, who they're wanting to re-sign. So they have so much depth at wide receiver that this was bound to happen. I just think that Andy Isabella does deserve a chance to play elsewhere. I think he's a great, speedy wide receiver, and I think he has 31 career catches with the Arizona Cardinals because they have never given him the opportunity. And they went ahead and extended head coach Cliff Kingsbury, which don't even get me started on that. That's a totally different situation other than just like me talking about Andy Isabella right now. I do think that he's going to succeed elsewhere. But right now they're focusing on re-signing. I think they're wanting to bring back AJ Green and Christian Kirk, but they also have, like I said, rookie Rondale Moore that they drafted, and they didn't really play him in the right way at all. I think his average depth per target was like just over a 1.4 yards, which is horrendous for a receiver who's able to make so much happen after the catch, kind of like a Cooper Kupp. I do think Moore should be more involved next year. I mean, but if you think about it, if they're trying to bring back Christian Kirk to the Arizona Cardinals, they're trying to bring back AJ Green. You're going to have DeAndre Hopkins coming back healthy. Christian Kirk, if they do re-sign him, which I think they're going to prioritize Christian Kirk over AJ Green just because AJ Green is like 32 years old. But they're going to try to bring back AJ Green. And then you have tight end Zach Ertz as well as a weapon. And then you've got rookie Rondale Moore. Where does this leave room for Andy Isabella? They have so much depth at the receiving positions that they are giving him permission to seek a trade. Potential fits, I think, could be great for him. The Packers did go in and draft not Rondale Moore. Is it Isaiah Rodgers, I believe? He was a rookie out of Clemson last year. They got him in the 3rd round. I do think he's going to be their future slot guy if they can get him to develop more. So I don't know if the Packers would be a fit for Andy Isabella, but I do think he could have a high free agency stock just because he's so fast and he's kind of unproven because he's only had 31 career catches in like 3 or 4 years in Arizona. And I don't blame him for wanting to seek a trade. He's so talented, and I do believe that he could be just a great wide receiver too, slot option on another team. I don't really know. I can't really predict where he would go or teams that might need him right now. But maybe even a team like the Giants that we were just talking about. I'm not really sure who else they have besides Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard. I know they have is it Slayton, who kind of stepped up. But like I said, Sterling Shepard is the risk of a pay cut right now and maybe potentially released. So they could use a younger guy like Andy Isabella to complement Kenny Golladay as well. But you guys tell me your thoughts on Andy Isabella down below. We were talking about the Giants earlier, and there's still a lot that I want to talk about with them. Major news, I think 2 days ago, maybe not yesterday, but 2 days ago, was that new Giants GM Joe Schoen said that he is open to trading Saquon Barkley. So if the Giants really are open to trading Saquon Barkley, I don't blame them because he's kind of been a bust. He had a great rookie season, and he may have had like another pretty good season between there. I forget when, but I think the last 2 seasons, he's been injured or he suffered season-ending injuries. And it's kind of time to move on. But they did release Devontae Booker, so like you released your running back 2, the guy who primarily took over for Saquon Barkley. So if you do end up trading Saquon, they're going to have to basically restock their running back room, and they would do this either in free agency or the draft. I do think there are some very talented running backs in this draft who may go under the radar a bit. Spiller, I believe, out of A&M, I believe he's eligible in this draft. I think he's going to be a great fit with the team. He's going to be a great pro running back. But like I said, if they do end up trading Saquon Barkley, what is it going to take? There was reports saying that they are open to trading him, but they may be asking too much, a potential first-round pick, and I'm not sure anyone's going to want to trade a first-round pick for a guy who's coming off of, I believe, a torn ACL or 2 torn ACLs. I forget what all his injuries were in the last few years. I just know that Saquon Barkley has just not really done too much. He's great when he's healthy, but he hasn't really played a full season, I don't think, since his rookie season. And he's a former, second overall pick. So I guess it's safe to say at this point in his career to label him as a bust. I don't really like using those terms, but he just hasn't lived up to his potential. He is obviously behind a very crappy Giants offensive line for, the beginning of his career. Almost reminds me of a situation with Darren McFadden and the Oakland Raiders. He spent like 8 years of his career in Oakland and was behind one of the worst offensive lines in all of football and just suffered injury after injury. I feel like he's got all the talent in the world and he's just been handed a crappy hand, and that's just something that sadly, he has to go through. I do believe that he should be traded to another team. Where are potential fits for Saquon Barkley? Well, I think that the Bills could be a great fit because I am not sold at all on Devin Singletary or Zach Moss. I don't think they're a great 1-2 punch. Singletary did kind of step up this year, but I just don't think he's going to be that running back one for a future. He's not going to be your franchise running back. If the Giants do let him go, I'm not sure how much it would take to get Singletary or to get Saquon Barkley, but I would definitely consider throwing in Zach Moss or Devin Singletary in that trade offer to give the Giants, because like I said, they released Devontae Booker. This would give them some running back depth in their room. Then they could draft some rookies, and then they could have veteran presence for those rookies. I think this could be a great situation all around for both teams, as long as the Giants are able to kind of let go of their ego a little bit on Saquon and not ask for a first-round pick. I just don't think he'd be worth the risk of a first-round pick right now, given his injury history. But you guys, please tell me your thoughts on that situation in the comments. I think this could be a great trade, though, all around for both teams. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you guys are commenting in the chat so we can get some conversations going. Like I said, like the video, helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitch as well, as I'm live streaming on there, trying to get noticed on all platforms. It'd be good for the Fight for Football brand. I believe I'm live on Twitter as well. Once the NFL Combine is over, I'm going to try to see if I can get some guests on the show, give you guys more of an entertaining live stream, get some literal, good inside knowledge on these teams and some situations that are developing around the league. But I can't guarantee anything about that, but I am going to try. But I know this week is very, very busy with the NFL Combine, and but I do want to try to get some guests on the show in the mornings. I think it could be a lot of fun. I think I have a collaboration coming up soon with a Ravens YouTuber. I think he's got 30,000 subscribers, so that should be able to help the brand a bit. And we are going to talk about Lamar Jackson and his extension news, because Lamar Jackson, as you guys know, he does not have an agent right now. He's negotiating an extension by himself as a 24, 25-year-old kid, basically. I mean, you're a very young man at that stage in your career, negotiating a contract extension, knowing that there's quarterbacks out there getting paid $40+ million a year, and Lamar Jackson has won an MVP. I mean, he's in a hard situation, and he's doing it all by himself. That's why the extension is taking so long. Looks like some news just came out. This is interesting. This is good. We're heading in the right direction. We are very much heading in the right direction with this news that just came out. The NFL has lifted all COVID-19 related protocols. Thank the Lord. I'm sick and tired of hearing about COVID-19 and these new variants and all this other stuff. I'm just hoping we can play the 2022 season COVID free, and no players will be hitting the COVID list, and fantasy football players won't have to worry about their bench. And just the fact that you can lose a player just like that by being placed on the protocol list and having to try and, I mean, it is good to have a bench in fantasy football, but it's just annoying when your player's not even injured and bam, they're healthy, and then they're just like, oh, we place him on the COVID list just because he was basically contaminated or close contact or whatever, you know. So hopefully 2022 season, COVID won't even be an issue. They did just lift all COVID-19 protocols. So that is very good news for the NFL, heading in the right direction. I know that at my job right now, at the university, they did just lift the COVID-19 protocols as well, but they are doing like a mask recommendation, like you should wear a mask, but you don't have to, which it was required. So I'm just glad we're heading in the right direction as a country and in the NFL as well. Hopefully this stays the way it should, and we don't have anything new coming out about that, because I think everyone could agree with me. We're just sick and tired of the COVID stuff and just ready to move on, get it over with. There's a lot of other important things going on in the world right now. So, but I'm just super excited that hopefully in 2022, we don't have to deal with this. I'm searching for other topics right now going on around the league. Other than that, that was just tweeted out. Let me look real quick, y'all. There was a tweet. I don't think it's a big deal when it comes to the combine. Official hand size for Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett was 8.5 inches. I don't even know what like someone's hand size should be as a quarterback, honestly. And then Pickett actually tweeted something funny, like considering retirement, told my hand was too small or something like that. And it was really funny. Oh, there was some news yesterday. This was interesting. There was news yesterday that, and it's not a surprise, I don't think, since Brian Flores isn't even with the Dolphins anymore, but Dolphins GM Chris Greer told reporters yesterday that the door on any kind of potential trade for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, the door is closed. So the Dolphins will not be trading for Deshaun Watson, regardless of his legal situation, whether the Texans say he's up for trade or not. The Dolphins are out. So other potential fits for Deshaun Watson would definitely be like the Broncos. I think they would be a great fit. Maybe even the Giants. Imagine Brian DeBall with a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. That would be something to build around. I would be super excited to see that. All they'd have to do is beef up that offensive line, get him a little bit of more weapons. I think that relationship there would be very, very solid. Let's see. That's interesting. Dan Duggan just tweeted, sources say in Indy that the consensus trade value for James Bradbury is a third-round pick and Saquon Barkley is a fourth-round pick. I'm skeptical that the Giants will pull the trigger on a Saquon trade. I don't think someone's going to trade Saquon for a fourth-round pick. I don't think the Giants would ever let him go for a fourth round. I was thinking maybe second round, like a second and a third-round pick, potentially. But for fourth round, just a fourth round, no. I don't think that's ever going to happen. This was a shorter live stream today. It was about half an hour. I'm going to end it there. I think I got a lot of the news out, a lot of the Giants news. Nobody's chatting, so we'll pick it back up tomorrow. I want to thank you guys. If you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe and follow me on all social platforms for your latest NFL news.